Let's cross to the Ghandi Square now, where our reporter is there, Natasha Phiri, attending the EFF manifesto launch. Good morning, Natasha. What time do we expect everything to start? Give us a brief synopsis of what is happening at the moment.
Well, a very good morning to you, and of course to our morning live viewers. Well, proceedings will actually start. The formal program will be starting at 10 o'clock, but as you can see behind me, EFF members have started actually trickling in their numbers. And of course, as the SABC, we've promised to give you blow-by-blow coverage of the EFF's 2021 manifesto. Of course, it's a people-centered manifesto that they will be delivering. They've solicited a number of views from various people, not only ordinary community members, not only EFF members or supporters, but various stakeholders such as academics, people in the industry, and so forth. But I'm not alone. I'm actually joined by my colleagues, of course, our political editor, Ghandi, and of course, my other colleague, Samkele Maseko. But before we actually cross over to Samkele, let's just speak to Bramzwai and actually get his feeling of today, what we actually expect. I mean, Bramzwai, this has been a long time coming. The EFF has said that they will be launching their manifesto today. It's going to be people-centered. What can we expect that's actually different from 2016?
Thank you very much, Natasha, and a very good morning to the viewers out there. And of course, I think for the EFF, they feel this election is out there for the taking. I mean, if you go around, they are the most prominent in terms of the visibility. I think they are the ones who have had a number of posters out there. I mean, we know how they performed in 2016, but of course, I think they would want to improve that performance. They may have been kingmakers, but they've made it clear that given the conditions at the moment, they probably may have one or two municipalities. In fact, they've on record as saying they want a eThekwini municipality. So clearly, they have an eye, obviously, here in Johannesburg and in Tshwane and in other key areas where they feel their support is very, very strong. So we expect them to really push hard, and then the message from their leader here will indicate exactly where they're going with this. But given the current political context at the moment, they feel they have something to gain.
Thank you, Mr. Mzwandile. Let's also cross over to our colleague Samkele Maseko, who's on the other side. And of course, Samkele, today actually marks the manifesto actually coincides with the releasing or the introduction of the EFF's new headquarters here at Ghandi Square. Talk more to us about that, Sam.
Yes, indeed, Natasha. The EFF will be launching its elections manifesto this morning here at Ghandi Square, but it also coincides with an announcement that was made by the EFF top brass leadership 6 years ago when they said they will be building their own home, which is Winnie Mandela House, to be unveiled this morning by the EFF leadership here in Ghandi Square as they launch their elections manifesto. The EFF's leader, Julius Silo Malema, will be delivering the elections manifesto. The EFF is looking at being the government of all 8 metro municipalities in the country and governing all of the municipalities in the country. They are also looking at taking the district municipalities. You've seen how they fared in the 2016 local government elections, being a kingmaker in 3 critical metros in the country. Instead, it's 4. You'd look at how they were kingmakers in the city of Tshwane, the city of Johannesburg, where they are launching their elections manifesto. You look at how they also played a pivotal role and bringing the ANC under 50% in Ekurhuleni. You go to Nelson Mandela Bay and the role that they played. You'd remember that backdrop in 2016 where Julius Silo Malema, alongside the then EFF top brass, including Ghandi, who was the then Secretary General, Advocate Dalimpofu, who was the national chairperson, Floyd Shivambu, the Deputy President. That backdrop of Alexandra, where they said they would be entering in a voting on an issue-to-issue basis with the Democratic Alliance in order to take the municipalities, the metro municipalities, away from the governing party. I'm just going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi just to show you the number of EFF supporters who are now making their way into this Ghandi Square, where the elections manifesto of the economic freedom fighters will be taking place. My colleague Natasha Phiri, in a moment from now, will also be speaking to Mpila Muota, the EFF's Treasurer General, on the numbers that they are anticipating here today. They had said that they are expecting over 20,000 people to gather here today at Ghandi Square for when Julius Silo Malema launches the elections manifesto of the economic freedom fighters. You can see the ground forces of the EFF coming with their kids, as you see on TV now, coming to this elections manifesto launch for essentially the local government elections, which essentially the EFF wanted them to be postponed due to the high numbers of COVID-19 infections taking place in the country. You can see them now on screen going towards the stage of where the elections manifesto will be taking place. Well, my colleague Natasha Phiri will take it from there.
I'm going to speak to UTG.
Natasha.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. That was my colleague Samkele Maseko just explaining the importance, of course, of this manifesto. I'm now joined by the Treasurer General of the EFF, Ms. Ompile Maudwe. Ms. Ompile, you look very nice, by the way. I mean, what can we expect? I know that this manifesto is a people-centered manifesto. I mean, you're also at the helm of soliciting views, especially from people in the business sector. Give us a glimpse and share with us what we can expect today.
Thank you very much, Natasha. You're looking good yourself. We are here live from Ghandi Square, where the CIC will be delivering the EFF manifesto launch for the local government elections, the upcoming local government elections. So we've been in a phase of the Mamela phase, where we're listening to various sectors, like you were saying. We had sector with security guards, with ex-mine workers. I myself was in conversation with the financial sector, where they raised a very number of issues that they want the EFF to put into their manifesto. So I will not go into detail into what to expect in the manifesto of the EFF. Please join us at 12 o'clock when the CIC will be addressing us. But what I can tell you is that local government on its own is a service delivery driven government for the people, because it talks to the heart of the people. It talks about water, it talks about electricity, it talks about the roads, the houses of the people. Those are the things that our people would want to see. Now the question is, what is the EFF going to be doing? So come and listen to us, but also at the center of everything is corruption. We can see that the current administration is marked with a lot of corruption. Now the issue is, what is the EFF going to do about corruption? We are talking of insourcing of essential services. Services like your cleaners. Why do cleaners remain outsourced when you know that you're going to need the cleaners on a daily basis? If you are outsourcing the cleaners, why are you not outsourcing the HR manager? Why are you not outsourcing the finance manager? You do know that for you to run a successful office, you need HR manager, you need finance manager. You also equally need the cleaners. You also equally need the security guards. Our people must be insourced, and this is possible. We've seen it happening at the city of Johannesburg, where through the EFF the motion was passed in the city, and we've seen an insourcing of security guards that were earning 4,000 rands. Today they are earning for 14,000. Not because there's any additional increase, because the contractor was getting 14,000 and he was pocketing 10,000, only giving the people who are the security guards who are faced with all sorts of intimidation and risk for their lives, taking them home 4,000. Now those security guards today are taking 14,000. They are able now to have medical aids. They are able to apply for a bond. They are able to apply for a car finance. You know, that is what we talk. What we talk when we speak about the EFF government. We talk about the government that is going to change the living conditions of our people.
Ms. Manto, you talk about insourcing of workers, which is one of the achievements of the EFF, but let's also talk about, you know, some things where you have actually fallen short. From 2016, yes, you've learned lessons. Your growth trajectory at the polls has actually grown. But I mean, what lessons have you learned as an 8-year-old party?
So as a EFF, we've done very well, by the way. We have not fallen short of anything. What we can tell to our voters is that vote for the EFF. Give the EFF the full mandate so that you can hold the EFF accountable. With 25 members in parliament, you've seen the previous administration. We tried to talk about to pass a motion of the expropriation of land without compensation. We were not supported because we don't have numbers in parliament. Today we've got 44 members in the National Assembly, making a total of members of parliament to be 51 when you add the NCOP. We were able in this second administration to pass that motion in parliament. So can you imagine the EFF with 250 members of parliament at the National Assembly? People of South Africa can expect that we are going to change the living conditions. With only 44, we managed to bring about what we call the motion for expropriation of land. Today we are sitting with a bill that must come to parliament to be passed into law. Everywhere else in the municipalities where we were having some sort of arrangement, we can point out to our successes what we've done for our people. So we appeal to our people. We do understand that 2016, it was the first time that the EFF was contesting the local government elections. And it comes natural that people will be skeptical to say to the EFF, what kind of animal is the EFF? Now we are 2021. The people of South Africa know what the EFF is capable of. The people of South Africa have seen with our successes what the EFF can do with the limited numbers that we have. So we appeal to our people to say, go and vote on the 1st of November 2021 and vote for the EFF, because the EFF is the only alternative, is the only party that will change the living conditions of our people. That's the only thing we can say. With limited numbers, we still all the time going to have to go to the table, negotiate with them to pass our manifesto that we are going to launch today, which must be translated into IDPs for municipalities and ultimately into a budget. It will be difficult for us to pass the budget if we don't have the numbers. We need the numbers. We are making promises today. We are making not empty promises. We are making promises to our people. We want to implement those promises, but we need numbers for us to implement those promises. And we appeal to our people, give us the mandate. Give the EFF 5 years of mandate of governing in our municipalities and see change. Be the change that you want to see.
Ms. Mantu, I have to ask, we are currently under level 2 lockdown. The EFF has previously said that they won't be dictated to by the government as to how to conduct, the elections or the manifesto campaigns, or election campaigns rather. Are you not worried about the numbers here today? And how will you regulate the people? I mean, some of them aren't wearing masks, unfortunately.
So Natasha, we've got over 26 million voters who were registered to vote in 2019. We've just added now, on the 18th and 19th of September, another 1.7 million. So meaning you are over already 28 million registered voters. How does the government come and say the gathering must be 500? There are no 500 registered voters. There will not be 500 people voting on the 1st of November. There will be potentially 26 million people voting on the 1st of November. Those are the people we want to speak to. Those are the people that need to hear the promises of the EFF. And we want to speak to them. If it was possible, if it was for us, we'll be having 26 million people here today. We don't care about any lockdown, because the lockdown, the government of the day, we told them as early as last year to say, let's amend the constitution to allow for the postponement of the elections. They refused. They waited until the last minute. The president of the country came in June and said the elections are going to be on the 1st of October, still with the pandemic. Now, how does he open for elections and still put us under some nonsensical lockdown? So we will not abide by any nonsensical lockdown regulations. We want to speak to the 28 million voters, and nothing will stop us. No 500 is going to stop us. If it was possible, like I say, they will be here. So our people must come in their numbers and come and listen to the promises of the EFF, because we want those people to vote for the EFF, not 500. We will agree to 500 if there are 500 registered voters. But for as long as there are more than 500 registered voters, we will not agree to that nonsense of 500.
Well, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you later. Well, there you have it. I don't want to add or subtract to what she said, but of course, promises that we as SABC have made is that we will be giving you blow-to-blow coverage here today in Ghandi Square, downtown Johannesburg, of the EFF manifesto launch. Of course, the formal program will start at 10 a.m. and of course, we expect the leader of the EFF, Mr. Julius Malema, to address the EFF members that are out in their numbers here at 12 noon. That's for me. It's back to you in studio for now.